It might be a rough couple of years there for your children. They're going to think they can do anything. Highly impulsive time. So always look to see if what you are doing is in your highest good, and ask for your inner guidance to come out, and it will. It will. You don't have to name it. If you want to, you can, but who else has questions, please?
This is Carol.
Carol, welcome.
Thank you. I'm receiving a lot of information from things like nature, inanimate objects, and
What sort of, receiving a lot of energy? People in the back are going, what's she talking about?
I'll see a person and start seeing where they're holding tension. I'll see a plant and think about the plant.
So are you seeing or sensing?
Sensing.
Sensing, all right.
Sensing.
Sensing.
What's happening is my attention is being drawn to different areas, animate and inanimate, which is making me more, quote, spacey and not focused, because my attention is going to a lot of different areas. And this is causing some problems.
Well, let's say this. These are spacey times, to give everyone a little space there. with Uranus at the end degrees of Pisces, Pisces is spacey. It's out there, it's space, it's always unbounded. And then Jupiter there giving you lots of spaciness. And so you have to work to be more grounded, which you go always in the zodiac, you go to the teeter-totter. You go to the opposite, exact opposite, and what's opposite Pisces? It's Virgo. What does Virgo say? It says, get grounded, dig in the garden, take care of your body. Do you understand?
I do.
Get healthy, get more focused. So it's on one hand, it's easier to sort of wool gather, as you call it, or go multi-D. You're going to have to exercise more. Wow, something really happened out there. And to bring it back, always bring your attention back to the home station. How do you do that? You breathe. You pay attention to your breath. You can't be all wandering here and there and everywhere if you are mindful of your breath. You can breathe and go, but when you hear yourself and you feel the breath, and you follow it in, and then you follow it out, and you really pay attention to it, that brings you back to the moment. All right? That will always make all of you more grounded. There are ways you can do to tap the body to get more grounded, tap the chest area, the thymus, etc. around this. This will help you bring more vitality to the body. So it's a challenge for everyone at this time.
I thank you.
Anything else, Carol?
The other question is sort of off the wall. I was listening to one of the earlier CDs, and you were talking about Moses having horns.
Yes.
And that got me thinking about the ancient times in Europe, where people were talking about you could recognize Jewish people or Hebraic people because they have horns. Is there any connection?
Well, someone brought up to our vehicle recently, she was discussing this because she has a picture, she didn't pull it out tonight, but there's a recent photo of a woman who's growing horns in China, yes? 100-year-old, and she's got a horn coming out of her head. So it brought up a discussion of a statue our vehicle had seen in Rome. It was Michelangelo's Moses, and he had horns coming out of it. And a gentleman who was a bit of a scholar said, well, that happened because of a mistranslation of the word Hebrew, and it meant something else, and it got translated into horn, etc., etc. And our vehicle said, well, yes, there are those explanations, but bottom line is there is a history on your planet of beings who had horns, little satyrs and beings that danced, and let's say that horns on your animals, when you think of your deer, your goats, your cows, we are the cows, we come from the Pleiades, the Taurus, the bull, these are antennae of sorts. They are used to tune in, do you understand? And if you look at the Egyptian culture, and all of their iconography, you often see an orb, a large orb, yes, and then the horns. So there is legitimacy to it, and as we were saying earlier, that there will be many levels of dismantling on your planet, and the larger theme to remember is that you're in some big belief bubble, a big belief ball, and it's the mass consciousness, and that ball is like Swiss cheese now. It's getting holes, and then it's going to melt and crumble a bit, and what will happen is that more explanations will come out to you will have the dismantling, more scandals and things of this nature, and you will have people putting things together, and the old truths will fall away because of new information you have. That's the building of the new reality. You will literally begin to understand things from a new way, and one of the big things is that you must realize as humans in the next few years that there are other sentient beings that occupy your earth and time and space. Now, we know this audience is open to considering all this, and the mass media has been conditioned and prepared for it ever since 1980 with the E.T. movie in earnest. But they've been making monster movies and beings for a long time, do you understand? Mm-hmm. The Superman movies had the beings coming out of the ground. It was one of our vehicle's favorite shows. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. They came out of the pipes, yes. And they knew then they were showing. The media is always used to show you. So it's one thing to see it on the media. It's another thing to see it in your backyard.
Really?
Or coming through the dimensions. Do you understand this? So the solidity of the world, your belief system, your projections that hold it up, it's sort of shimmering now. And you're coming into a new understanding of how reality is built. It is, in traditional terms, the old saying was that seeing through the veil, or having the veil lifted. That's what it's referring to. Other worlds all around your world that you block out by belief. It's all by belief. Questions?
Kelly?
Kelly, loud and clear, please.
Yes. One of the ways I am in service is through feng shui, doing feng shui consultations. And my slogan...
Let us say this. Do you have a good time doing it?
I do.
Then you could say one of the ways I have fun and
Okay, thank you.
yes, give yourself permission. Yes, because if everyone did work that they had fun with, the whole world would completely change. Because some people have fun with things you would never have fun with. Go ahead there, Kelly.
So my slogan is healing the planet one living space at a time. So my question is kind of twofold. Number one, how may I elevate so I improve upon what I'm already doing? And just for everybody, I mean, what would your message to people be about what I call their karmic stage? You know, their homes, their businesses, where they spend time when they're indoors. What would your advice be or suggestions be to improve?
All right, that's a good question because it can apply to all of you, whether you take this lady's services or not.
Yeah.
Think of the world axis as our vehicle drew it for you there before. Spring, summer, winter, fall, yes? Think of that as the balance of feng shui. Do you understand? And the bottom of the chart there, Cancer, is home. And so wherever you are going to spend time, you want to make sure it's a nest. That you nest, that it's comfortable, and that you ask people to show you what they like, not what you like. A good feng shui person can take anyone's junk or anyone's great things and move them around so that the energy flows and moves. That's what you are looking for. And so that it is comfortable. And as far as a slogan, it's fine to have a slogan, but the bottom line is you must do good work. You must put your heart into it, and you must consider making beauty with what people offer you. And that's what you want to focus on, because beauty makes people, if it's their own beauty, if they mess it up, then forget it, that's their problem. But people, chakras open in beauty. This is why you like to go to parks with flowers, and you ah and ooh at Christmas time, and your body eats in and it absorbs beauty. It absorbs color, absorbs many things. So you look for beauty, even if someone says, I only have this chair and this and this and this, I don't have much. You say, well, let's go outside and see what's in nature and what we can use, or how much can you spare? Well, I have a little extra. Well, let's go to a garage sale or two and see what we can pick up for. How much do you want to spend? Well, I only have $20. Or, well, how many items would you like to get for $20? Well, maybe, let's say 3 items, 4 items. All right, that's our intention list. So you do everything by intention. Do you follow this? To make beauty. And we don't know what your aspirations are to make big bucks. If you want to then take it on that level, then you are going corporate, and let's say the whole corporate imaging, and here I am, and here's my website, and here's this, and there's so much of that. It's a meaningless world. You must put heart into it. You must learn to be shopkeepers. Do you understand?